Hey everybody, I hope you had a good week last week. We only have a few more weeks and school's out, so hang in there, you're almost done. Last week we did tax, tip, and markup. This week we're doing discount, and then we're moving on to percent proportion as well. So kind of like last week, we had two different videos for the lessons. This week's going to be the same, but I am going to go ahead and post them all today on Monday, so that if you want to go ahead and do the rest of the week, do the rest of the work for the week today or tomorrow, you can. You don't have to wait until I post the video on Thursday. So anyways, right now we're doing discount notes. Pretty similar to tax, tip, and markup, except with tax, tip, and markup, we found the percentage and then we added it to the original price. Discount means it's on sale, so you're saving money, so that means you're going to subtract instead of add. Okay, so pretty much the same except for subtracting instead of adding. So a discount or a markdown is the amount by which the regular price of an item is reduced. Okay, so the sale price is the regular price minus the discount. So just like last week, we're going to write that. So sale price equals, okay, regular price minus the discount. Okay, regular price minus discount. So example 1 says a DVD normally costs $22. This week it's on sale for 25% off of the original price. What is the sale price? So again, if it's on sale, that means we're saving money. So it's going to be less than $22. So to begin with, it was $22. It's on sale, so it's going to be less than $22 now. We need to find out what is it actually going to be. Okay. So again, just like the notes from last week, there's two methods. Method 1 is the one that I'm going to use throughout the notes. Okay. The methods are the same. Again, it's just subtracting. So if you preferred method 2 last week, then you're probably going to prefer method 2 this week as well. But again, I'm going to be doing method 1. Just like last week as well, they're using the decimal instead of the percent sign. So whichever you prefer, 25% is 0.25. I prefer just to use the 25% and plug that percent sign in my calculator. So it was 25% off, and the original price was $22. So when you multiply those two together, you get $5.50. Okay, this $5.50 is how much money you're saving. So that's why we're going to subtract that from the original price. Okay, so the original price $22 minus the discount, which is $5.50. So you're paying $16.50. So that is the sale price. Okay, so again, this is the only thing that is different. You're subtracting instead of adding. Okay, so let's move down. Let's look at example A down here. It says a shirt is regularly priced at $42. It is on sale for 15% off of the regular price. What is the sale price? So again, you want to take that original price of $42. You're going to multiply by however much it's off. So it's 15% off, so I'm multiplying by 15%. Okay. Again, I'm using that percent sign in my calculator. So I've got 42 times 15%. So that's 6.3. So in money, that is $6.30. You want to add that 0 to it. Okay. That's how much I'm saving. So this right here is your discount. So that means I'm saving $6.30. So I'm going to take that original price, and now I'm going to subtract that $6.30. So it's on sale for $35.70. And your calculator is going to give you 35.7. You have to remember to add that 0 to it because we're dealing with the money. Okay? Do not give me an answer of 35.7. I will not accept that. Please, please, please remember to add that 0 to the end. Okay? So nothing's really different except, again, that subtraction sign. You're still multiplying by the percentage, and then you're going to subtract it from the original to get your answer. All right. right, next page, we've got another example, number 2. And my copy kind of cut off, but I think yours should be good. This is a boogie board that has a regular price of $69 is on sale for 35% off. What is the sale price with a 7% tax? Okay, so we have a 35% discount and we have a 7% tax. So this is tying into last week's lesson now. Last week when we had a tax and a tip, we added those percentages together. But that's only because when you find tax, you add it to your original price. And when you find tip, you add it to your original price. But in this case, discount is not added. It's subtracted. So this is going to be a 3-step problem. It's not going to be, we're not going to add these two together anymore. Okay. So you have to remember whenever you have a discount in a tax or maybe a discount in a tip, it's going to be different than when you have a tax and a tip. Okay. So we're going to look at the steps that they took. Step 1 was to find the amount of discount. So nothing's changing right now. You're kind of ignoring that 7% tax right now. So you've got the regular price, which is $69, and then you're going to multiply by that 35%. So you're saving $24.15, so $24.15. So this is your discount, okay? Step 2 is now to find how much you're paying, okay? So you're going back, so this is still the same as what we just did. So you've got the original minus how much money you're saving. So the sale price is $44.85, okay? So this right here is your sale price. Now we have to remember that there is also a 7% tax, okay? So sale price is $44.85, so that means that you do not need this regular price of $69 anymore. You're done with that regular price. Your new price is the sale price. So to find the tax, you're finding the tax of the $44.85. So now you've got $44.85, the tax is 7%. So you're multiplying 7% times $44.85 and you get $3.14. Okay, so this $3.14 is your tax. So now, again, we don't need that 69 anymore, so you're forgetting that that's there. So to find the sale price is $44.85. Your tax is $3.14. So now you're going to add the sale price and the tax. So your final price that you're paying is that $47.99. Okay. So you're multiplying, subtracting, multiplying, adding. Okay. So multiply, subtract, multiply, add. Okay. So really, it's a 4-step problem instead of a 3-step. Okay. So we're going to do B right here. It says a CD has a regular price of $15.50. It's on sale for 25% discount. What's the sale price with a 6.5% tax? So again, we've got a discount and a tax. Okay. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do my work over here so we can see it because it does not leave a lot of room. So step 1, I'm not paying attention to this tax yet. Okay. So I'm just going to ask like this is a normal discount problem. So it's $15.50 and it's on sale for 25%. So I'm going to multiply that $15.50 times the percent, which is 25. Okay. And I'm going to find how much money I'm saving. So $15.50 times 25% should be 3. Okay, so my calculator says 3.875. So remember, because it's a 5, this is going to round up 1. So 3.88. Okay. So this 3.88, this is the discount. This is how much I'm saving. Okay. So step 2 is to find how much is it after that discount. So you're taking that $15.50, the original price again, and now you're going to subtract how much it's on sale. So $15.50 minus $3.88. Calculator's so sticky. $11.62. Okay. That $11.62, that is your sale price. Okay, so it is on sale for $11.62. Now we need to take into consideration of the 6.5% tax. Okay, so step 3 is going to be to find out how much tax you're paying. Okay, so remember, this is when I'm not paying attention to that $15.50 anymore. The new price that I'm looking at is the sale price, the $11.62. So to find the tax, I'm going to do the sale price times the tax percentage. So I've got $11.62 times the tax, which is 6.5%. Okay. So I'm going to multiply that in my calculator. 11.62 times 6.5%. So it says 0.755, so that's going to be 0.76. So that 0.76, that's your tax. So that's how much extra you're having to pay for tax, okay? So tax, remember, is added on. It's added to your sale price. So step 4 is going to take that sale price again, which is $11.62. And because it's taxed, you're adding. So you're adding 76 cents. So $11.62 plus 76 cents is $12.38. So $12.38. That is your final price, okay? So what is the sale price with the tax? It's $12.38. So when you're working these problems, do it step by step, okay? Multiply, subtract, multiply, add. Remember, this is only the case for a discount and a tax, or maybe if we had a discount and a tip. Okay, last week it was a 3-step. You multiplied, you added, and then you multiplied again. Okay. So pay attention to your steps. All right, number 4. So we've got 2 different stores. We've got Clothes R Us and Radcliffe's. They're both having sales. So a pair of sneakers at Clothes R Us is 40% off the regular price of $50. And then at Radcliffe's, the sneakers is 30% off of $40. So they want to find out which store has the better price. So which one would you rather pay? Obviously, you want to find the one that's cheapest. So this is just a sale price. We're not taking into consideration any tax or anything. So you're just multiplying that 60% times 50, and that's $30. And then over here is the 70% times 40, which is 28. So obviously you're looking at 30 and 28. So which is the better buy? That would be Radcliffe. Okay. We're going to do which one? Let's see. Is this a okay? So answer choice D is just asking if it was 50% off, which would have the better buy. So if you so same deal here. 50% off is half off, right? So you can easily say, okay, Clothes R Us. The original price was $50. So if it's half off, then that means it's $25 now, right? You don't even have to really do math. And then Radcliffe's, the original price was $40. So what is half of 40? 20. So which one's cheaper? Radcliffe's. Radcliffe's is still going to be cheaper. Okay. Alright, example 1 down here. Let's go ahead and do that since it's a little bit different. There's a bird hitting my window. That's crazy. Okay. Anyways. Mary and Roberto brought identical backpacks at different stores. Mary's backpack originally cost $65 and was discounted 25%. Roberto's was $75 and it was 30% off. So which is the better buy? So let's look at Mary's first. So let's see. It was $65. So 65 times the percent off. So 65 times 25%. Let's see what that is. Oops. So that's $16.25. So that means it's $16.25 off. Okay. So, how much is it? 65 minus 16.25. So it's on sale for $48.75. Okay. So Mary is paying $48.75. Now we want to see, okay, how much is Roberto paying? So Roberto's backpack was originally $75, and then it's 30% off. So 75 times 30% is $22.50. So then you want to take the original price, 75, minus the $22.50. And that should be $52.50. So which one is the better buy? Mary. Mary is the better buy because it is cheaper. Okay. So not too bad. You just want to find both of them, and obviously the cheaper choice is going to be your better buy. Okay. All right. So that is your discount notes. I'll give you a minute to go ahead and finish copying that, and then we're going to switch over to the other notes. Okay. So again, that is the notes for what I think is Monday and Tuesday. Yep. So mine's cut off again, but this is Tuesday's work. And then you've got the answer keys to check your answers. And then you've got another set of note sheets, okay? So these notes are for Thursday, or Wednesday actually, sorry. If you want to go ahead and go through this, you can. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it in the same video. So if you want to pause it now and then come back to it a different day, that's totally fine, whatever you choose. But this is going to be the notes for the rest of the work. So this is percent proportion. It is not bad at all. You're just setting up proportions, which we've already done before. We've used proportions, I think, second 9 weeks, maybe? First or second 9 weeks, can't remember. But in order to solve a proportion, remember you cross multiply. So this is just a little bit different because you're having to set up the proportion first and then cross multiply, okay? So there's 3 different types that you might be faced with. You might be finding the percent, you might be finding the part, or you might be finding the whole, okay? Either way, you still have the same proportion. You're just going to have different pieces of information to fill in. So this says what percent of 5 is 4. When you're reading these sentences, I want you to do exactly what I'm doing, okay? And I'm going to write it over here. So for the percent, you're going to circle that in your sentence, okay? For the part, or we're going to say is, so is or the part, okay? You're going to underline. And then for the of, or the whole, you're going to box it, okay? So, I'm going to skip down here real quick. As you can see, their proportion that they have set out, they have part over whole equals 80 over 100. We're going to say, whenever we're using percent proportions, we're always going to say is over of equals percent over 100. Okay, so anytime we're using percent proportion, I'm gonna refer to that as your is over of. Okay, so this is what your proportion is always going to look like. We're circling, underlining, and boxing these things so we know exactly where to put them in our proportion. Okay, so going back up here to this example, it says what percent of 5 is 4. So percent, I'm going to circle. So what percent That's what we're trying to find. We don't know what percent, okay? Of 5 is 4. So is underlined. So of 5 is 4. And then box of. So the of 50, okay? So that's going to help you. Is over of equals percent over 100. So now to set up that proportion, is going to go on top. So the number that's underlined with is 4. So that goes on top. The number that is boxed with of goes on bottom. So 5 goes on bottom. And then the circle, the what percent, that's always going to go on top. And then as you can see, 100 will always stay the same on bottom. So your proportion is 4 over 5 equals n over 100. Okay? And then you can cross multiply to solve for n. Same thing here. What number is 80% of 5? So what number is, that's what I'm finding. So is what we underline. The percent is what we circle. So it says 80%. That's a percent sign. Okay? So if you're not finding the percent, you're just going to look for that percent sign. Otherwise, you're going to look for the word percent. And then of 5 is what we would box. So is over of, so x or n over 5, whatever variable, equals percent 80 over 100. And same thing here. 4 is 80% of what number? So 4 is 80% you circle of what number? That's what we're trying to find. So that's boxed. Okay. So is over of 4 over what number? So 4 over w. It equals percent 80 over 100. Okay. So now we're going to look at solving these. Okay. So again, percent proportion, we're comparing one ratio to another, or part of a quantity to a whole. Okay. So let's look at example number 1 down here, where we have set up a proportion and then we have solved it. Okay. So it says what percent of $15 is $9. So what percent is what we're finding. So we're circling that percent. Of $15 gets boxed, and is $9 gets underlined. Okay. So is over of is 15. Is 9. Sorry. Is over of 9 over 15, which they have right here. 9 over 15 equals what percent, which is n or x over 100. Okay. Now to solve this proportion, you're cross multiplying. So you're multiplying 9 times 100, right here, equals 15 times n. So then 9 times 100 is 900. 15 times n is just 15n. So now you have a one-step equation. So in order to solve for n, you've got to divide by 15 because that's 15 times n. You're doing the opposite. Okay. So divide each side by 15, and n equals 60. So to find to write your answer in sentence form, you're basically just plugging it back in. 9% of $15, or sorry, answer was 60. 60% of $15 is $9, or they kind of worded it a little bit different. They said $9 is 60% of 15. So you can switch it around whichever way you want, but you're just plugging it back into that sentence. Okay. Let's look at example A. It says what percent of 25 is 20? So what percent, that's what I'm finding. So I'm circling what percent of 25 is 50. So of 25 gets boxed, is 20 gets underlined. So your proportion is going to be is over of equals percent over 100. Okay. So what goes with is? The number underlined with is 20. So you're going to replace is with 20. Of with 25. So 20 over 25 equals percent over 100. We don't have a number with percent. That's what we're finding. So I'm just going to say equals x over 100. Okay. So there's your proportion. Now you want to cross multiply. So 20 times 100, which I'm just going to go ahead and say it's 2,000, equals 25 times x, which is 25x. Okay. Then in order to solve for x, this is a one-step equation. It's 25 times x. You're doing the opposite. So it's going to be dividing by 25. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. So x equals 2,000 divided by 25, which is 80. Okay, so x equals 80. Okay, what was x? It represented the percent. So your actual answer would be 80%. You would want to put that percent sign. So if we write an answer form, sentence form, would be 80% of 25 is 20. Okay, so you're just filling it back into that sentence. And because it's a percent, you have to remember to put that percent sign. Okay. All right. Number B, or letter B, sorry, it says $12.75 is what percent of $50? Okay, so the of is kind of easy. It says of 50, so that's easy to spot. So I'm going to go ahead and box my of 50. And the rest is $12.75 is what percent? So percent gets circled. So because it says is what percent, some students get confused because they're like, okay, well, what is 12.75? It says is what percent, so I would underline is what percent. Percent always gets circled. So if it says what percent, that what percent is what you're finding. That's what's getting circled, okay? So then whatever is left, so in this case 12.75 is, that's what you're underlining, okay? So you're always circling the percent. That should be the easiest thing to find. If it has a percent sign with the number, then obviously that's what you're circling. If it says what percent, that's what you're circling. Okay, so don't get confused there. So again, we've got our is over of equals percent over 100. So what number goes with is? 1275. So we've got 1275 over of, is over of is 50. And then what percent is a variable? 100 always stays the same. So now you're going to cross multiply. So 12.75 times 100. You're really just moving that decimal place over, right? 2 places to the right. So this is 1,275 equals 50 times x, which is 50x. So again, now this is the one-step equation. So you're going to divide both sides by 50. Remember, those cancel out. So that's why we do that. So x equals 1275 divided by 50, which is 25.5. Okay. So again, what did we find? We found the percent. So your answer has to have that percent sign tagged to it. So that means that $12.75 is what percent? So is, we just found out the what percent, is 25.5% of $50. Okay, and that is your answer. So again, you're not always going to have the x, you're not always going to be finding the percent. Remember at the top we had the different types. So you might have an x right here where the 1275 is, or you could have an x for the 50th. Okay, and we're about to find that out. Right, so number 2, now it says what number is 40% of 100. So like I said, the percent is always pretty easy to find. In this case, it's 40%, so you would just circle that 40%. And then what number is, that's what you're underlining. That's what you're trying to find. And then of 120. All right, so they've gone ahead and set up their proportion that is x over of 120 equals 40 over 100. Okay, then they cross multiplied and solved. P was 48. We're going to go ahead and do C and D together. And I'm going to do it over here so I have a little bit more room. So C, it says what number is 5% of 60. So again, that percent sign's easy to find. 5% of 60 is your box, and then what number is. So is what you're finding, okay? So setting up your proportion, remember it's is over of equals percent over 100. So replacing the number with is. Do I have a number with is? No, it says what number. So I'm just going to use x over of 60 is with of, so it's going to be 60. X over 60 equals percent. So now there's a 5 with that percent. So you're just putting the 5. You're not putting 5%. Okay, you're just replacing that percent sign with the number. And then 100 stays. So there's your proportion. Now to solve, again, you're cross multiplying. So x times 100, which is just 100x, equals 60 times 5. So what is 60 times 5? Should be 300. Oops. So now you have a one-step equation. So divide both sides by the number with x, which is 100. So x equals 300 divided by 100 is going to be 3. Okay. So x equals 3, so that means for your answer, if you're plugging it in for your sentence, what number is, so you're replacing that with 3. So 3 is 5% of 60. Oops. And there you go. Not too bad. Letter D, 12% of 85 is what number? So 12%, again, that's easy to find. Circle that. Of 85 is what number? So of 85 gets boxed. Is what number is what you're finding. That's underlined, okay? So again, is over of. So is what we don't know. So x over of, which is 85, equals the percent, which is 12 over 100. So x times 100 equals 100x. And then 85 times 12 should be 1020. So then to solve for x, you're going to divide both sides by 100. You get 10.2. Okay. So fill it in. 12% of 85 is 10.2. Okay. All right, just a few more examples and we're done. Let me slide down. All right, so example number 3 says 18 is 25% of what number? So in this case, of what number? The of is what we're finding. So the first page we were finding the percent. Example number 2, we found the is. Now we're going to be finding the of. Okay, so you're going to be boxing of what number? Okay, circling percent. 18 is, so that's what you're underlining. Okay, so you can look at this example if you need to. Let's just go on and skip to E and F. So E says 40% of what number is 26. So 40%, again, that's easy to spot. You're circling the percent, boxing the of, and underlining the is. So of what number is 26? Is 26 of what number? And that's what we're trying to find. Okay. So again, going back to the is over of equals percent over 100. Is 26. So you're replacing the top with 26. Over of is what we're trying to find. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to use x again. And then percent over 100, which is 40 over 100. Okay. So if you need to write that again up here to kind of remind you, is over of equals percent over 100. That's how we're getting that proportion. Alright, so now you want to cross multiply. So 26 times 100, 2600, equals 40 times x, which is just 40x. So then to solve for x, you're going to divide by 40 on both sides. So x equals 65. So fill in 65 in for what number? That means 40% of what number? So of 65 is 26. Okay. And And then F, 84 is, so that's easy to see, underline. 84 is 75% of what number? So is over of, so 84 is, of is what we're trying to find, so 84 over x equals percent, which is 75 over 100. So now you want to cross multiply it. So 84 times 100 is 8400 equals x times 75, so 75x. And then solving for x, you're going to divide both sides by 75. So x equals 112. So then 84 is 75% of 112. And you're done. Okay. Alright, so hopefully that's not too bad. So that is both of your lessons in one video for the whole week. Email me again if you have any questions. Always here to help. And I hope you'll have a great week. Hang in there, just a few more weeks.